Alright. So I think we're back online here. Let's try that again. I'm hoping my chat follows suit. Let's take a look and see if my chat followed suit. I'm having some problems, obviously. Not sure. I got disconnected from the YouTube. Don't know why. Can't explain it. There's no answer to that. It just happened. Let's take a look here. Let's go into my YouTube. Let's try to see if we can get reconnected. And we'll turn that on and we'll view that. Alright. So I'm not sure. Duncan wants to know if I paid my electric bill. Alright, so can you guys hear me now? I just want to make sure. Make sure that we're back online. Let's take a look. I have to now go to YouTube to see. Let's see what it comes up with. Alright. I got a funny character out there. We got this out there. So it says I'm live. And I got some stuff here. So, alright. So it looks like we're back online. Let's get rid of this here. We'll shut that down and we'll try this again. Alright. Now, let's go back to our messages. You guys put in a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't get a chance to see it. Okay, let's see here. So the big fella saying if the bear market after 6 months, CTN will be gone. No, Electroneum's not going to be gone. They got a lot of good stuff. All right, let's see here. But big fella, I have to ask you. You seem like you're losing your cool. I lost my cool. Just like the Grinch. You gotta hang in there, big fella. Obviously, the stress is getting to you. Alright, let's see here. Duncan saying they won't be making money yet. This was all explained about tech videos. They're concentrating on getting their users before starting to charge for services. You know, and even if they do start charging for services, that's not going to help the coin users. That doesn't do anything for the coin users. Only the owners of the Electroneum company. But you know, like I said, like I was telling you guys, this has nothing to do with any one coin. I mine, you know, Ethereum Classic, Monero, Electroneum, Web Dollars. I mine BitTube, Loki. You know, and all of these. You can't. You know, Electroneum I can't be your only coin. If you're in this market, so you know what's going on. So, you know, it's all about the Bitcoin, no trouble. Okay, Bitcoin go. So big fella's really in a bad place here. You know, he's big fella's turned into a mega bear. Big fella's going. Bitcoin's going to $800. Yeah, well, I'll tell you, if it goes to $800, I'm buying. You know, I can go down to 100 for all I care. I'm gonna buy it all up as much as I can. All right. So, just to recap, I got disconnected from my first run. I'm hoping that everything continues fine. I'm not sure why we lost connection, but I did. So, we're gonna see if we can reconnect everything. And that's where Duncan's going, Dino, you gotta pay your electric bill, man. If you don't pay your electric bill, snip, they cut the cord. If I didn't pay the electric bill, all the lights would go out. I'd still be able to broadcast for about 4 minutes to 10 minutes because everything's on battery. But yeah, that's a problem. So Drone Air saying, hey, I can't wait for MWC. Gonna be some awesome news from Richard Ells. I think you're on target. What is that? When is that? I think, let's take a look. I'm forgetting when that is, when that starts. Let's see if we can get it. Alright, so the Mobile World Congress is going to be Monday, February 25th. So, yeah, we got a few days for that. What's today? Today's still in January, so we got the 29th. So we got some time. We got about 4 weeks till the Mobile World Congress comes up. Yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot of exciting things there. If I'm not mistaken, too, Pundi, I think, is going to be there with their blockchain phone, and I would tend to think Samsung is gonna be showing off their, or talking about their Samsung 10 with their crypto phone with the wallets built into it. And keep in mind, a lot of people buy Samsung phones, and when they buy these phones and there's a Bitcoin app or a wallet installed directly in there where they can, I'm not sure what cryptos it's going to be able to store, but when they get that and that app's already on their phone, what I was talking before I got rudely interrupted by by BitTube, by YouTube. The next time things go, it's gonna be craziness. There's just so many things that are interacting with cryptocurrencies, whether it be banks, funds, infrastructures, devices and gadgets, ATMs. There's so much connecting and interacting. It's starting to shock me. Just in the last year alone, it significantly has changed. And when you got major products coming out where, you know, it's boom, you got a cryptocurrency wallet right on your phone and right out of the box, it's going to get a lot of people involved, no matter where or how. So, you know, don't you guys fret. You know, this is just a holding game at this point. And don't give away your coins. Just don't give them away to people that are gonna steal them at these prices. Hold on to your stuff. Hold on to your stuff is what I'm doing. That's what I keep telling myself. You guys do whatever you want, but I'm holding on to my stuff. You know, obviously it's not financial advice. I just a crazy guy in a straw hat. I don't know what I'm talking about. But they'll have to pry my crypto out of my cold dead body. They have to steal it out of my fingers, because every extra nickel that I got laying around in my little change jar, I'm converting that right over. Absolutely. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. ETN needs a massive announcement. Oh boy. So, big fella, is ETN the only coin that you have? That's kind of shocking to me, that you're in such a panic over Electroneum. You were like a big Electroneum fan. Now you're in a panic mode. I think he's got to. This guy needs to eat his Wheaties. Somebody give him some Lucky Charms, man. All right, let's see here. So Drone Air is saying that, yeah, I'd like to see who their secret guest is going to be. He said there would be 2 big news announcements. I'm selling a rocket here. Yeah, no, Drone, I think you're right on target. I saw that video from Richard. I thought that was pretty cool. We'll see. From what I understand, one of the people will probably be a virtual provider I think Mick was telling us on one of his videos that it'll be a virtual mobile provider, somebody that's either on board or has came on board, and they'll, you know, talk about all of the richness and the advantages of using Electroneum on their devices and putting it on their networks. So I think that'll be good. The other one, I don't have a clue. It could be anything at this point. It could be anything. You know, it would be a good place to have an announcement. Last year they put out some feelers. They were able to make some connections, put out some understandings between the companies. They're going to see some great progress that Electroneum has done. And a lot of the coins out there have done some exciting stuff. You know, but I look at it like BitTube is constantly, Saber is constantly making this new upgrades and special connections and plugins, and he's always doing some. Those guys are coding fanatics. You know, I mine some Ethereum Classic. Don't ask me why. I don't have a clue, but it's paying the best at the moment. Monero's just, you know, it's just a good coin to have, just in general. But there's not too many coins that alts that I look at that are doing some of the stuff or have produced some of the stuff that Electroneum has. There's you probably count them on two hands that are out there making things happen, even in this point. Now, keep in mind, when things are slow, this is the time to build as much as you can to get ahead, because everybody else is slowing down. You're going to have coins that are going to disappear. They don't have any money. You're going to have coins that they just get abandoned. They're going to get some that just get delisted. You have some in fight with the SEC. And you know, the fact of the matter is that there are a few that are really making things happen in this low point, and that's where you really want to have it. It's cheapest now to make things happen, and you can control it better than when you're in a craziness just trying to keep up with the nonsense that's going on. So this is exciting for me. I tell you, I haven't been so excited in a while. I know that we're closest to the ground than we've been in a while. Let's see here. So Duncan's saying, yeah, he goes, yeah, I'm not selling anything. He goes, I ain't selling for no one. I'm adding every payday. So I'm with you, Duncan. I'm in agreement with you there, 100%. It's funny because, you know, if this was to go up to $6,000 and double in 2 weeks, you know, you're gonna have everybody, oh, I should have, you know, should have, would have, could have, and you know, you have to see it for what it is. You know, when it was 20 grand, everything's crazy. But even when it was to 12 and $9,000, if somebody said, yeah, you know, I can get Bitcoin at $3,000, $3,500, you'd be like, yeah, I'd get that. I'd buy that at $3,500. Well, there it is, $3,500. And you know, if you're a day trader, yeah, you wanna do your TA, buy it, and you know, make your 10% in a few days, and your timing, and you know, and that's your job. Unfortunately, I have another job, so I don't have time to do that every day. I'm not interested. But I see the prices. I see all of the infrastructure being placed. I see things that are going on that when things change and turn around, I'm going to be very pleased with myself that I was scooping up as much as I physically could, and I'll probably be disappointed that I didn't sell my car to buy more. So that's where I'm going with it. Alright. see here. Let's take a look at what else you guys get going on. Let's just go to the chat. I'm gonna bring up the regular chat window here. Let's see if I can do that. I'll do that behind me. Move this out. Move my fat head out of the way. Oh boy. Creator Classic. There we go. They make you click so many buttons and do so much stuff. Let's go to live streaming. Come on, stick with me. Events. And let's get my dashboard up here. Okay. I'll pop that out. Alright, put this up. Okay, so let's go back to chat. The whole crypto market needs an injection of cash, not just ETN, guys. So RJ's right. Let me take a look at what RJ's putting up here. And everything is just stagnant. It's just stagnant. And that's what happens. You have here, look it. You need to look at this really carefully, okay? Let's go to CoinMarketCap. You guys need to see this and you need to understand what you're looking at. Come on, Dino, get it together. All right. Now, if you take a look, you got US Tether. You got $2 billion. All right, now this isn't a fake $2 billion. This is a literal. It's not like all the other coins. If they sell one for $100, then it gets times how many are out there, and then that's your market cap. But that doesn't mean that's what they're going to sell for, because the price can go up, price can go down. You look at Tether. Tether has a market cap of $2 billion US. For every Tether there is, there's a dollar sitting there. It's physically $2 billion. Not a suppose, not a multiplied out, not a maybe if. There's $2 billion sitting there. And the reason why it's sitting there is because all those people are waiting just to see if Bitcoin drops a little bit more. Alright. As soon as prices start ramping up and they see it, and they're not gonna, that $2 billion is gonna go back into Bitcoin because and all these cryptos, because they're not gonna just leave it in Tether. So when they start to see things, and once the TA crosses over those lines, and we bounce off that 200-week moving average, and we bounce up, and it starts going in an incline where every time it drops, it bounces off that line and keeps going up. All that money is going to get shoved back into cryptocurrencies, and the price is going to go ballistic. Ballistic. It's a lot of money. $2 billion. More money than I'll ever see. And that's just one of the coins. That's just one of the stable coins. They're not putting it in Tether because they like Tether. They're not collecting Tether coins. They're waiting for the opportunity when it starts to make a progress up. They're going to then shove it even more. This is going to be like a bonus multiplier. It's all wound real tight, and everything is stretched, and everybody's just waiting for that magic TA to say, yeah, it's bumping up, it's bumping up, it's bumping up, it's bumping up, shoot, and they're gonna start dropping money in there left and right. It's gonna take time, but the money's sitting there. It's not like they're cashing out. They're not like they're taking the Tether and give me my money, I'm gonna go home.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
They're not cashing out. They're leaving it in Tether. They're leaving it primed. They're leaving it ready to fly. They're leaving it in there so that they can move it on a moment's notice. They're not taking it out and saying, hey, I'm going to go buy a car with it, or let's put it into U.S. bonds, or I'm going to buy Japanese yen with it. You guys need to really understand everything that's going on around you. All right. Well, big fella goes, he wants some action. He did some XRP and all this stuff. I don't want to sell, but I want some action, baby. You know, the only thing I can tell you, big fella, you know, take a couple of grand and go to Vegas. You can roll them dice. Come on, baby, I need a new pair of shoes. You're ramped up too much for me there, big fella. If you need that much excitement, casino's the only way you're gonna go. You can get it out of you. Alright. So Debo, hey, doing Debo? Debo's saying, I'm an ETN guy, but I'm starting to think Pundi X also. Pundi X, you know, it's a good project. It's a nice project. They're also going to have some challenges, just like everybody else. You know, and we're going to have a recession. And it's going to be worldwide, and it's going to be a problem. I think everybody's going to be dealing with this stuff at the end of next year. It's going to be an interesting time. It's going to be an interesting year. But, you know, Pundi's got some good ideas. The problem with the phones, you know, there's so many large players that can come out with the stuff instantly, and they have the market. They can crush anybody else. Pundi X has the register, and I think that's a big mistake. I think it's a nice add-on item, you know, if somebody just wants to have a crypto register, but most retailers are not going to change out their existing point-of-sale systems. I'm going to go spend more money for another point-of-sale system for, what, 1 out of 1,000 people that are going to use crypto today. They're not going to do it. But if they have APIs or a way to incorporate into existing point-of-sale systems, that'll do better for them. But it's in my opinion, it's a big mistake to think that people are going to dump their point-of-sale systems or have a second point-of-sale system just to handle crypto. No large, you know, if you got Bob's Books and he sells them out of a trailer, maybe that might work out. But any large retailer or chain or anything like that, not going to have a secondary point-of-sale system that they're going to have to worry about, not only on the hardware level, but integration of the software and the accounting. That ain't going to happen. If you can't build it into their existing system as an add-on or an update, you know, like Electroneum, they have the API. You can build it in, and it's been done. A guy in Egypt did it. He took the point-of-sale system, modified it, and added the instant payment technology for Electroneum as a payment option. That is the right answer. You got to think those things through. But I personally am not purchasing Pundi X, but that doesn't mean that it's not good for you. You know, that may be a winner, and you may have done a lot more research than I have regarding it. But that's my thoughts on it. I think that they have a good idea, and I think that they need to not waste their money on things that are going to be short-term solutions. They've got to find something that's mass integratable if they want to be successful. So that's my thought on that. So, okay, so RJ's asking me, hey Dino, my number one's Electroneum, but what do you think of XRP? So, I'm going to tell you what I think of XRP. obviously a lot of people love XRP. There's a lot of people that are just in love with the coin, and how can they not be? At the moment, it's number 2 on the market cap, and I'm sure there's been a lot of folks that have made some good money with it. It's my personal belief that since all the coins were generated by a central source and sold from that central source, usually you have a crypto, an altcoin, and it was a mined or earned out in the public, so there's no central authority. And Bitcoin being an example, Suga being an example, Web Dollar being an example. Some of these coins, there was no ICO, there was no initial setup. It just started and everybody started mining it. So that obviously, there's nothing that you can pin on that. Then you have ICOs where they'll create a certain amount of coins, they'll sell them at a certain price, get it out there, raise that capital, and then the rest are earned through mining. Those things like Electroneum and probably 75% of all the other mineable or of something of work solutions. Then you have coin like XRP. All the coins were created up front and put in a wallet, and then they were sold by that company, every single one of them. Now obviously once they're out there they get traded, but every coin was initially came out of XRP. It's my personal opinion. XRP is a absolute security and should be treated as a security, because there was nothing there that could be mined. There was nothing there that could be earned independently than buying it from the guys that created it. So every coin that you see out there, they made money off of the initial creation of it. And to me, that blatantly defines a security. Hands down. There's no question in my brain. What does that mean? That's up for the SEC to determine. Are they going to declare it a security? Probably not, because there's so much money in it that they'll make their own rules. So, is there money to be made in XRP? Probably. We've seen XRP at $3. Yeah, it'll get back there. That's 10 times what it is at now. Do I think that the people buying the coins are going to make the most money? No. You got banks that are going to buy up a lot of these coins. They can make it pretty much as they want of them. The banks have to keep a surplus, because if they're going to be transferring them, they have to be able to have enough in their wallets to be able to make the transfers, to do these bank transfers to other banks. So that'll tie up some of them, but the fact of the matter is they're not buying them from exchanges. Every time the banks buy these coins, they're not going to an exchange and purchasing them, and so that the price goes up. They're getting them under the table from the guy that's stamping them out in the back office at Ripple. So I'm really on the fence on that. I have a feeling that there'll be money to be made with it. I don't see that the price of it being... The only reason why it's number 2 is because there's freaking 41 billion of them out there. You take a look at the supply. All right? You go right up here. There's 17 million Bitcoin. There's 104 million Ethereum. Okay? There's 906 million EOS. All right? Tron, 66 billion. What the heck? It's 66 billion coins, 41 billion coins. So you got 41 billion coins, and they just keep making them and handing them out there. Yeah, if they're worth 3 cents. are 30 cents, and you have 41 billion of them, then you get number two. But do they deserve to be a number two? I don't think so. I really don't. I have no intention of buying XRP in any large quantity. I may get 1,000 or two just to have them. But I ain't invested my money into XRP personally. But it's a good project. It's producing results. There's talks. There's people interacting with it. Same with Stellar. There's going to be a use case for it. There's going to be money made with it. But I don't like what's going on with it. It's extremely deceiving, and I don't feel that it should be in the number two position. But that's my personal opinion. But there's nothing wrong with buying XRP. Absolutely not. You know, just keep your eyes on it. I think there's some opportunity there, but I'm really hesitant about it. All right. Yeah, so Big Fella's saying Electroneum needs to talk more about their instant payment. There's a lot of stuff Electroneum needs to do. For some reason, I don't know if they still have the crazy old white paper. Whenever somebody does, I get bent out of shape because I listen to people that come online and they, we're going to do an in-depth review of Electroneum. And they go, that Electroneum token, is mined by a mobile phone. And I'm like, I don't know where they're getting their information. I don't know why they think they're even coming close to doing an in-depth review. I'm like, it's not a token, it's a coin. And they get half of it right. Yeah, there's a mobile miner, but it's mined by ASICs. The blockchain is held up by ASICs. There hasn't been... It's unfortunate that they don't spend a little bit more time before they claim they're doing... At least, if I look at a coin, I'll tell you, hey, it's cursory. I haven't gone into it. From what I can tell, skimming the surface, and I'm sure there's a lot more underneath that I need to look into. But if you're coming out and you're saying you're doing an in-depth review of Electroneum and 30% of what you're saying is complete other gibberish that should be sifted through a lunar left-handed smoke bender, that just rubs me the wrong way. I get crazy about that. And they go to the white paper and they're going to do Electroneum has to somehow update their information, what's out that's out there, so that it's a little bit more up to date, because they keep referencing this nonsense that's out there because that's all they can find. And so that needs to be updated, and they need to put stuff in there like, yeah, we have instant payment. There was a coin that came out, and one of these big channels, and he's like, this is amazing, you can mobile mine it, and then they have and you can transfer it, and I'm like, really just last week you were rubbing on Electroneum, saying how bad it was, but now you're like, some coin out of nowhere that nobody wants, it's worthless, I don't even know who's making it, some guy in his garage, and you're promoting this thing as something cool, and it makes me nutty. It makes me nutty. I you guys know what it's about. So anyway, let's see what else we got here. Alright. I think I got everything up at the top. ETN needs easier to buy. Debo saying Electroneum. Debo, look at me. Look at me. All cryptocurrency needs to be easy to buy. It's a freaking nightmare. the average Joe is not going to be buying cryptocurrency. They're not going to be. They might go to Coinbase and log on, get an account, and pick one of the 5 coins that are there as of right now, and that might happen. Moving things around, keeping their keys, worried about wallets. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. No, they're not interested. I can just pull out my Visa card, I put my hand in my pocket, pull out my credit card, I swipe it through, and it's paid for. Done deal. Why would I bother with that nonsense? And this speaks to the point that everything is being built right now. We're building the core components, the modules, all the subroutines, everything that's coming together, and then it'll keep encroaching into more and more ease of use, more built-in functionality. When it becomes transparent, when it becomes you buy a Samsung phone and there's a Bitcoin wallet on there, and so I can go to a Bitcoin ATM and I hold my wallet up against the machine, I put in a $50 bill, and then it shows up on my phone. Then you'll start to get some people. And Electroneum has everything. So you use it on your phone. You see your amount. You walk in, you can scan, you can pay. It's paid for instantly. You grab your bottle of water and you walk out. Everything is physically there regarding for Electroneum. It's just getting it out there. So you're right. It needs to be marketed when the time is right, and I'm not sure the process of which that's going to happen, but all cryptocurrency needs to be easier to buy. The whole thing's a nightmare for the average Joe, and that's because we're inside the transmission with all the gears, and we're turning this one a little bit here, and we're lining it up with that. Most people, those people just want to put the key in the car and they want to turn it on and drive away. They don't care how it all works. And you get in your car. My wife, she has a key. That's all she knows. She puts it in the door, opens up, or she pushes the button and it bleep, bleep, and it opens up. She hops in, puts the thing in there, and she starts it. That's all she cares about. She could care less. There's a transaxle inside there with limited slip transmission and positive traction in the back and the ability to go four-wheel drive, economy. She don't care. She wants to push the button, air conditioning, and she wants cold air to come out. And right now we're building the components of this car, and until it's all together, the majority of people are not going to get involved. And if you're thinking otherwise, you're sadly mistaken. That's when it becomes mainstream. It was when the average Joe doesn't have to worry about it. They like Electroneum. They pick it up. I got my Electroneum. Bloop, I pay for it, and I walk out with my water. That's all I care about. I got 100 Electroneum. Bloop, I got 98 Electroneum and a bottle of water. That's all they're worried about. Electroneum does that now, but that's where the key is. All right. Let's see here. Yep, R2 saying, if you go to the right websites, you can buy it directly. Yeah, there are a few out there with liquid, and it depends on what part of the world you're in. You can purchase it with fiat dollars. Even that's kind of a nuisance, because then you got to buy it and you got to transfer it over to your phone. The average Joe's, that's still more than they need. It would be neat to have an exchange that you can set it up, and then you can purchase it, and it goes into your wallet, and then it gets instantly transferred to into your Electroneum wallet. So, they purchase it. It goes into the exchange wallet, and the exchange wallet has an automation tool in it that automatically transfers it to your phone, so that they can just pay for it, and then boop, it'll show up on their phone for them. Or go to an ATM where you can just put in 100 and boop, and it charges up your Electroneum wallet and things like that. And that's coming. All that stuff's coming, guys. Everything, all that stuff. It's gonna just take some time. Yeah, there we go. Daily News is saying you need to be able to buy it with an app like BigTube. Yeah, it'll be there. Whether you'll be able to transfer. I think what is that? Cash. I think it's called Cash App, which is through Square or PayPal. Not PayPal. I think it's through Square or something like that. And you can use your credit card, and it'll purchase some Bitcoin for you and put it in your account. The only problem you have with that is, here's the problem that you have. All the credit card companies. I went to use the thing, and I went to buy some with the credit card, and all of them, red flagged it. Or they think that it's instantly flagged as they think it's a stolen card, or one of them says no, go pound sand, because we ain't gonna let you use it there. And if I try to get like a prepaid card, they say, well, you can't use prepaid cards. So I have no credit card that I can actually purchase it with. So the only way you could do it is to do a transfer out of your bank account. And so you're stuck with Coinbase. So the credit card companies have made it miserable. I used to be able to purchase it with every one of my credit cards, and right now I don't have one. I cannot purchase any crypto whatsoever with a credit card. Can't do it. I even tried using a bank debit card. They won't let it go through. They zero it out. They block it. And so unless I set it up with an ACH directly to my bank account, there's no way for me to purchase it. And it's aggravating. And they're doing everything they can to keep that from happening, because they know once crypto does go mainstream, they're all out of a job. All right. Let's see here. R2D2 say, he goes, I'm not sure if Android and or iPhone will allow in-app purchases. I doubt that they will. It's going to be more of a wallet, so you can send it to your phone. Or if you're at an ATM, you can scan it against the ATM and load it that way. I doubt there'll be an in-app purchase. That's going to be a while until more cryptos buy up more banks and there's more throughput. And because there's so many limited areas, they're taking advantage and charging up the yin-yang for this stuff. The news says, hey DigitSpin, I love your business setup videos. Well, we're glad you enjoy something here. Like I said, we're just getting back to it, so I'm trying to get my wheels rolling again. But I'm glad that you guys like the videos and the walkthroughs of the building. We're doing a lot of new and exciting stuff and trying to get everything together. I was just excited to get the broadcast studio back online today. Let's see here. Steven goes, I love the backtrack. I'm hoping you're talking about the music backtrack, not somebody backpedaling. All right. Yeah, Jerry's saying the same thing. Jerry's saying, hey Dino, Coinbase is the most practical, and it really is. There's you can get Coin Mama. Coin Mama will do it also, but Coinbase is really they've got it sewn up. think Robinhood's supposed to do it, and of course, I think Gemini's getting into that too. But Coinbase has this whole thing signed up. They really have it down to be as a reasonable as possible process as it can be at this point in its development. Let's see here. Steven's saying Android allows pretty much anything. Then they tend to ban a few weeks after the fact. Yeah, well, they did put in place, the ability to stop particular types of apps, and they have a moratorium on certain ones. But they're definitely a lot more liberal than Apple. For such a liberal company, they really a bunch of dictators over there. Alright. So, there we go. Alright, guys. I think we've had enough fun. I think we've been on here for an hour or so. I appreciate you all checking in with me for the first broadcast. I'll get my stuff together. We'll do some exciting stuff in the future. And then I'll start to ramp up the videos more and more, but I'll try to get on at least once a week right now and interact with you and put together some stuff. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to have that interview with WebDollar with their new proof of work and all the exciting stuff. We've got the ATM from CoinFlip. We're going to be talking with the guys there. And we have a few other things that I'm not going to let slip out of the bag yet, but we got some other exciting stuff that we'll have going forward in the future. Miss you guys all. Appreciate you. Give me a like. If it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button, and you can keep up to date. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, man.